Hello. Hellos, hellos, hellos. So we're waiting for 2 o'clock to go live. Um, there's a whole lot that's going on in the polity. In fact, I just got up a new update regarding the development in Nigeria. That the ADC's constitution does not allow Peter Obi to participate in the primaries of the ADC's presidential elections, effectively barring Peter Obi from contesting on their platform. So we're just going to look at that effectively and bring you up to speed. Um, it's an interesting development. Let me see if I can pull that up right now because it's looking quite interesting by the day. I mean, Nigerian politics is just one hell of an interesting, drama. I mean, if you blink 1 minute, you miss an hour. It is that interesting, in fact. Okay, there's a story here. In a surprising turn of political developments, the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has declared that former Labour Party presidential candidate Mr. Peter Obi cannot contest under its platform uh, for the 2027 elections due to constitutional constraint on membership. The party's third schedule on primary election guidelines, specifically Article 8 on membership, mandates that any aspirant must not belong to any other political party. This provision has effectively shut the door on Peter Obi, who remains a registered member and active member of the Labour Party. His media aide, Mr. Tanko Yunusa, confirmed the status, stating, well, that will be made public if he decides to do that. At the moment, he is still a member of the Labour Party, he says. Obi's growing alignment with the ADC in recent months had fueled speculations about a possible defection and a fresh presidential bid through the party. However, exits his current party and satisfies ADC's strict membership requirements, his ambition under the ADC umbrella remained blocked. Meanwhile, the ADC National Executive Committee has declared two heavyweight politicians, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and ex-Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi, to potentially seek the party's presidential nomination. Both men have severed ties with their previous political parties and the PDP and APC respectively, and now meets the constitutional criteria laid out by the ADC. This political configuration sets the stage for an intriguing race ahead of the 2027 general elections, with realignments, defections, and coalition talks expected to shape the electoral terrain. While Obi's next move remains uncertain, his political influence and grassroots momentum continue to draw attention across party lines. It is really an interesting development. I really don't know what you think about this latest because it's one that everyone has been speaking about, especially with political pundits online. What will become of Peter Obi if he loses this momentum, if he loses this opportunity? We will be in a moment speaking to a guest on the phone this afternoon. He will be speaking, amongst other things, this particular issue. He would also be speaking on Nnamdi Kanu's case that has been adjourned till October 10th for ruling. And it happens to be a very, very interesting turn of events. I mean, yesterday, many persons looked out for a fantastic opportunity to see what can be done with what has happened, in few months, at least bring it to a head. But it does look like it didn't come to a head. But hopefully by October 10th, there will be some ruling. All right. Interesting. For those who are all about Enugu State, there's something trending in Enugu State. The Enugu State governor had just demolished a particular. He had demolished a particular uh, smart school at Mbo. Mbo is in use user access, and it was quite interesting how he did that because he says that the building does not meet its structural, base. Apparently, um, the state government engineers had gone to check and had been going around though, have been going around and be checking all of the people who have been doing some jobs for the government, and it happens that this particular one um, didn't meet the structural standards that was set aside. And so, because of that, it happens that they have asked that he be relieved of the duty for construction the particular job, and of course he also refund governments and also is going to be prosecuted for that. I'll bring you up to speed. I mean, you should stay on this particular line. I'll bring you up to speed. I'll bring you some structural defects. I mean, some time ago I spoke about the defects that was found in a few of the institutions that was called out by someone who was concerned. So hopefully we're going to get this done and dusted as well. All right, this is GZ Media, and we're going straight to talking to Barrister Alex Amujogu. Barrister Alex is someone who is a barrister who, basically is very good when it comes to analysis of political terrain, political issues. And by the way, you can call in. You can call in using the numbers showing on the screen. You can call in and say your mind. Tell us what you think about the developments in Enugu. And of course, with the topic today, I'm sure that you would probably love to comment on it. Should Peter Obi return back to the PDP, given that Atiku has left the PDP and headed to the ADC? And like we're seeing now, it is becoming clearer by the day that he might not contest on that platform. Barrister Alex, thank you so much for joining us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Charles. Thank you for having me.
All right, so there's a whole lot happening in town, and one of them is this particular issue. This week, Atiku resigned his position from the PDP, and many persons have received that with some reaction, some mixed, some just in between, some just there. But it also throws up an opportunity for somebody, which is Peter Obi. For you, with what you have seen, do you feel that Peter Obi should return back to the PDP now that Atiku has left? Because part of the reasons why why the PDP lost the election in 2023 was because of Atiku's ambition. So what do you think? Do you think that as it stands, that if Peter Obi returns, his chances will be high? And what are the pros and the cons for him returning to the PDP?
In view of the political landscape of Nigeria today, I do not think that it's advisable for His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi to return to the PDP. The coast can never be clear for him because Atiku Abubakar defected to has resigned his membership of PDP. What you should understand is that our president Tinubu is going for a second term in office, and his intention to go for a second term in office means that he has already gained ground. He has already gained ground within the conference of Nigeria, and having gained ground, it requires a heavy teamwork. It requires a formidable foundation politically for any opposition party to dislodge him in his second term ambition. As things are now, there is no way to me in which we can see that either Peter Obi as an individual can challenge Tinubu or Atiku as an individual can challenge Tinubu because he has already gained ground politically. So the only way Tinubu can be dislodged from office as an incumbent president is that Atiku and Peter Obi must reconcile. That's the condition. They must work hand in hand like cement twins. That is the only way. They must belong to the same political party. It's either they belong to ADC as a one-party membership, or any other party that they can muster together. But insofar as that is a call for them to separate themselves like a twins being separated, Charles, it will be it will backfire politically for them. They can never achieve any meaningful results. And if you watch the gap in which Tinubu used to win the last election between Atiku and Peter Obi, Charles, you will see that once the two contenders, like is Atiku and Peter Obi, merges together, Charles, I have no doubt in my mind that they can pull a strong action against Tinubu. But the question is, and the issue is, whether they can muzzle that heart to partner together. It's either Atiku steps down for Peter Obi, whichever platform they are anchoring upon, or Peter Obi should for the privileges of age on the part of Atiku, maybe come down low to still partner with him as a vice president. In the Gideon party, they can pull a much weight because once they muscle their powers, Atiku bringing his own bloc from the north and Peter Obi from the south, Charles, they will have a people-oriented and victorious result. But once they are fighting against each other or contending on who shall emerge as the ticket bearer of any opposition party, Charles, they will not make any headway. So him going to PDP, like Peter Obi, has been advised by some persons. Charles, it will worsen his political career. I'm telling you, because PDP is already divided. PDP had been captured by the incumbent president. So even if he goes to PDP, those who will fight for him, like the governors of the states, are already working with Tinubu. So they cannot bring out their money or their energy, their zeal, their energetic power politically to fight for Peter Obi in PDP. They cannot. Their mind and their intention, their will, all their inherent powers are already channeled towards the APC president. So him going to PDP, it is too late in the day. It's too late in the day because the house has already collapsed. It has already collapsed. It had even that the PDP was intact that last election, and he goes back to PDP. Then you can now have the confidence to say that he will pull a weight. But at this moment, PDP is already a sham respect. They cannot muster any national results at the moment. So Peter Obi should resist that temptation of being propelled to go to PDP because there's no foundation again in PDP. It's like they're already built on a quicksand and can easily collapse. So let him make effort to reconcile his ambition with that of Atiku Abubakar. The two must go together. The two are the thought bearers. So they must partner together, one way or the other. Otherwise, all of them will collapse.
I mean, Atiku has been performing or has been contesting for presidency since 2007 or so. In fact, 2003, because it was 2003 we started knowing that he has an ambition to become the president in 2007. So he has been contesting since then and up until, just 2023, which is 5 times. I mean, so many persons have said if you get to 2027 is still the period for the South. If you have to look at it from the premise of South and North dichotomy, there is this unwritten idea stating clearly that both sides, would do 8 years. But with the way it is right now, it does look like, an extra 4 years for Atiku would not be a bad idea. Some people are saying that Atiku should step down his ambition, and that it was because of his ambition that was what cost the PDP the elections in 2023. If he had supported Peter Obi, Obi would have won that election hands down. So don't you think it's also part of the reasons why they might have an issue come 2027? I mean, Atiku is fighting to become the president under the umbrella of the Southern presidency opportunity. Don't you think that is also an issue? Because the South, as a last election, did not really vote for PDP.
To me, desperate moment calls for desperate action. Insofar as there is an opposition party that wants to win an election, to me, you must not still work in line with the incumbent system of power rotation. What required is what shall your party or your group do to win an election? What about the issue of Southern and Northern? Because you are not in power. You're not in power. It is only when in power you can talk about your system of sharing of power. But at the moment, what should be paramount in the minds of political parties is which candidates can you project that can gain a national favor that is capable of destroying the incumbent.
Are you saying if Atiku support Peter Obi, not as president of Vice, Peter Obi chooses somebody from the Northwest or Northeast, are you saying that if Atiku supports Peter Obi in 2027, that he would not beat Asiwaju?
Just to me, the percentage of winning will not be comfortable.
How?
It will not be comfortable because already Tinubu has already done his almost finishing his first time in office.
Mm-hmm.
Then what you speculate is what will be the mindset of the Northern Legion? What will be their mindset? The North has already seen Tinubu that is going to complete his 4 years term. So why Peter Obi, there is danger that If they support Peter Obi, then they have to wait for the next 8 years.
No,
So
but Peter Obi, but Peter Obi have said that he's going to do 4 years. He's not going to go beyond for 4 years.
They will see it as a political message, political talk. That's the issue. That's the issue. This is what Jonathan did before. So even though he's a sincere man, he's a man of his ways, but the politicians cannot trust it. That's the issue. And those who are not working with him can never trust it. That's the danger. So it will be easier. It will be easier for Tinubu. And let me tell you, it will be easier for Tinubu to run with Peter Obi 27 than running with Atiku and Peter Obi.
I don't understand.
Vice president.
Can you say that again?
I said it will be easier political movement for Tinubu to run for presidency with Peter Obi. It will be easier for him to win.
Oh, it will be easier for Tinubu to win Peter Obi.
It will be easier
than to win an Atiku.
Than to run with Atiku. Than to run with Atiku together. Atiku margin advice with Peter Obi. That would be a tight race.
Okay, what if Atiku runs on his own, and he does not have Peter Obi as vice?
He will fail. That's the secret. That's the reality on ground now. So the option they have at the moment politically is that Atiku and Peter Obi must be in the same boat, political boat. They must. If they fail to be in the political boat, they can never achieve any meaningful result. Because for you to win an election in Nigeria, Charles, you must always envisage a candidate that will have a northern backing. There must be an element of northern bloc backing. And because the North for now is mainly APC, because the North now are mainly APC, they cannot throw their full weight on Peter Obi. They cannot throw their full weight on Peter Obi because of what? The danger that he will rule Nigeria for 8 years, which they will not want. That's the danger. So we are in a kind of a political, the South are in a kind of a political cage. But the only thing that can help us escape this cage or chain is for us to foolishly follow the lineup of Atiku. Maybe serving as a vice, serving as a vice for Atiku, who will say that he will rule for 4 years. That one will be easier. It will be easier for us to follow the footsteps of Atiku.
No.
I mean the Southeast too.
But Atiku has not said he will rule for 4 years.
Hello?
I can hear you, Atiku.
Okay. Even if Atiku says he will rule for 8 years, but even if Atiku will say he will rule for, even if he will, the main thing is like let Atiku, let us work with Atiku. But at the moment, because if he may sign a kind of an agreement that he will.
Hello, Alex. Okay.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Yes. I mean, because of the political cage, the Southeast have been put under. We cannot from nowhere emerge as president. We must play a kind of a tactical measure politically. That is for us to be with any man who is the second man, who can who we can be second man to. Let us work with the person. That second man is if Atiku, with the nature of issue of northern hatred on this APC government. If Atiku is there to capture the northern favor, and people, and we now support people based on our own certain interest, they will put a very bigger weight. And that one is it will be easier because by then it will be now in the hem has already reached almost the epoch of being a president. But by being a vice, he's going to. There is a very big hope.
But is it a good idea? Is it even a fair deal?
And age is on his side. So if he serves as vice for now, there is still hope. There is still a very big hope that he must have garnered enough foundation for him to emerge as president.
I mean, with what's on the ground right now, it is very impossible. It's nearly impossible to do this with what is on ground right now. Because, I mean, for somebody who ran as president, I mean, because I think there are a few persons who I've also spoken to who are also saying that Atiku is now like the clog in the wheel of Peter Obi of winning the presidency. He would have supported Peter Obi if Atiku had supported Peter Obi in 2023. Peter Obi would have won that election hands down. And now this is 2027. This is a turn of the South. So, I mean, why would you want a northerner to still go on and come out and win an election when it is not yet the time for them to win that election or the time to field a candidate?
Anyway, it's an issue of an ambition. Ambition is never a crime. Atiku is watching his age. He's watching his age. If he has continuously tried to be president since 2003. Since 2003 up until now. So is it just 4 years? This between 2027 and 2031, is it just 4 years that if he drops his ambition and supports somebody, is it that this period that will make him too old to rule Nigeria? You know, he must not believe in the miracle of Buhari. You may believe in it. That's the miracle. That's the miracle of Buhari. Buhari contested severally and was even crying. So there is still hope. There is still hope because that's already done in Nigeria politically by Buhari. Like to him, it's possible, and he still possesses that energy. He still have that zeal. He still have that caliber to the caliber capacity to see contest, and there's no way. Even Peter Obi respect Atiku. That's the issue. You respect him, and that is my fear. If you see his movement now as a politician, Atiku, you see that he's determined to contest again. He's already determined, and he has seen the wave going around that people are willing to support him. If Peter Obi and Atiku go for permanence now, don't be surprised that Atiku will win Peter Obi. Peter Obi gives Atiku respect, and he doesn't watch anything that can bring them together to crash on a particular interest. I'm telling you. So that's a kind of inner respect he had at Atiku. Is giving Atiku an edge to still be blowing hot, and that hot is blowing. He's gaining ground.
Yeah, this particular mindset is the mindset that you also, I think Kenneth Okonkwo had when he said something along the lines of, it's not possible that a southerner would come out, emerge and beat a Tinubu, that it would be far better that a northerner, emerge, and that would be a foregone conclusion if a northerner emerged in 2027 to fight against
that's what I'm saying. Yes, because of the hatred they have on the southeast, may not give them a full support. They will not give us full support to win Tinubu. Because of that hate, I don't know whether it's called natural hatred.
So I mean, so should we be living by people's hatred? Why should we be living by people's hatred? So if you hate us, then Tinubu continues. If that's the case, if you cannot drop your so-called hatred for Peter Obi, who has said he will rule for just one term, if I thought, because they have numbers, and by the way, you mentioned something like, when they want to listen to Peter Obi, he has said he will do one term. If that one term that it finishes and he wants to go for a second term, they have the numbers. They can always align with the Southwest to knock out Peter Obi. It's that easy. So if you say because of hatred you don't like the South, is that the reason we are not going to give you the opportunity to beat an incumbent who has clearly not shown you love? Because according to them, Asiwaju has not shown them love. It's as if most of his policies are skewed against them. it's always skewed to the southwest. So you have somebody who is in power who is not liking you, and then you have somebody who you can align with. You are saying because you are hating them, and that's why you're not going to align with them to take away power from this man. And then you want us to now vote your own man. So let's even imagine that an Atiku emerge. Will a southeasterner vote an Atiku? Will a southwesterner vote an Atiku? Will a southwesterner vote an Atiku? Of course not.
That's why I said if Peter Obi joins Atiku, he will Southerners will still vote for Atiku. That's the issue. Once the Southerners, once Peter Obi maybe brings out his political machinery to say, please let us support Atiku. That it is a very close step to the presidency. That's I'm assuring that they will follow him.
I doubt.
They will follow him.
A lot of persons are looking for Peter Obi's presidency. A lot of people want to.
Following you, but so the only way that the Southerner can rule Nigeria is using an indirect method, not a direct method. Putting Peter Obi is like a direct method, and they will work to ensure that it doesn't comply with it. Even come on the election they did. Charles, you need to wonder how did that Peter Obi, who made him to have scored third? How did he emerge as a third candidate?
I mean, it is the election. Even though we know it was heavily skewed, he would have gotten more numbers. Like what we saw in Rivers and what we saw in Lagos, he would have gotten more numbers. In fact, so many persons think that he even won.
That's the issue. That's the issue now. That is the issue. Peter Obi has no political foundation, structure. The system in place now cannot guarantee him victory. That's the issue. The system in place cannot guarantee him victory. Atiku has a little structure that can or system in Nigeria that can guarantee him victory. Peter Obi can be screwed out, as has been done to 2023. He can be screwed out because he has no structure, he has no system in place that can boldly declare him a winner. That's the issue. Atiku, who has been in the system for many years, at least has had one or two systems in place that can protect his vote. Peter Obi has no. He's like a one man show politically, even though he has the crowd, but the system does not support him. So he must. In Igbo they said that when a little goat bend down his knee, that is when he will suck the mother's breast. So because he has no system in place in Nigeria for him, he must bend down to those who still have an element of system or structure that he can suck. He can suck with to grow to where he should be. That's the secret. So there is no guarantee that his victory will be guaranteed by the system in place. But because there's no system in place for him.
The only reason why people are saying that Atiku will most likely win the election is because they saw the numbers the last time, and for the fact that now he participated under PDP. Remember, PDP had structures, PDP had governors, PDP had senators, PDP had the House of Rep member the last elections. This time around, it is an ADC. There is nobody. There is no governor. There is no House of Rep member. There is nobody. So how on earth? Because if, as it stands, PDP is going to, get a candidate, nobody knows who that candidate is going to be, or who the person is going to. And PDP has a structure. At least, as at last count, they have up to 12 governors. 11 or 12 governors, as the case may be. So if they have 11 or 12 governors, it's already a structure for the PDP. Him moving to the ADC, it's a no structure. You don't have anything. Nobody, just like he is, just like Peter Obi in 2023. So there is no way you can say, okay, based on Atiku and his might, he has structure. Where's his structure? When there are no governors, when there is no House of Rep members, when the party is largely a new party.
That's why I said. People are looking forward. That's why I said the only way the political parties can succeed is that once each of us has Peter Obi and Atiku are on the same umbrella, are on the same boat. Charles structures will emerge from nowhere. Peter Obi didn't win an election. He didn't have any governor.
Yes.
He didn't have any senator. But because people's mind are positioned for particular person or structure, even governors cannot be able. Even governors who are incumbent, we are defeated in their own state. So if Atiku and Peter Obi are on the same line, and people that voters are seeing that they are on the same line and in the same message and the same interest, it will naturally it will draw structures to themselves. I'm telling you. But once they are divided, that is when they will now fail woefully. It's not here that they don't have governors here and there. But once they are on the same page, the structures will emerge from nowhere to build their structure. But if they are divided, they can never succeed. But once they are united with one voice, the masses are seeing them down one voice on one page. The voters are seeing them one voice on one page. We will see structures emerging from all the kinds of Nigeria to support them. So that's what happened before.
If that's the case, if that's the case, why don't we have an Atiku vice a Peter Obi?
It's now too late in the day for Atiku to vice Peter Obi, because Atiku has already served as vice for 8 years.
Because he's going to do just 4 years, and it will be easy for Peter Obi to hand over to him by 2031.
He cannot be vice now. That's the issue. By law, he cannot be a vice president again. By law.
Oh, really?
So the law has already forbidden him. Yes, the law he can only serve for 8 years, which he has already served. So he's foreclosed from going for vice again. That's the issue.
This is really dicey.
That is why he.
I say it's really this thing is really dicey, yo.
It's too dicey. It's complicated, very, very complicated. But I said that everybody must look for a way to swallow their personal interest and look for a space to accommodate each other, one with the other. But if you don't create a space to partner with each other, anybody will crumble. And I'm telling you that the political landscape can be more controversial if it's between the north and the south. It is more controversial because Tinubu policies has dealt with the north. They are aware that he has dealt with the north. His policies, even though now, and he has seen that his policies has dealt with the north. So currently, he's trying to rebuild that trust through Buhari's death. Because he's not trying to rebuild that trust, one way or the other. So because he is aware that the north is against you, you are finished. It doesn't. So once you're able to capture, that's why Atiku was trying to maybe renege before. He was trying to drop before, but he has seen that the wave from the north is in line with his own interest. That's why he's now boldly coming out. He's boldly coming out, but he has seen that that is the only block that can put a challenge to the incumbent president. That's the only block. So and even them the APC, they are running ADC to give ticket to Peter Obi. Even the APC, they want a Peter Obi contest.
Oh, APC wants a Peter Obi and Asiwaju contest.
I'm telling you.
Why?
I'm telling you.
Why? That it will be easy for Peter Obi to beat.
In view of the current political landscape in Nigeria, That money for it. That is why all their pushes are mainly against Atiku. But that is where the power block lies. That is where it lies. So it will be easier. But the issue, Peter Obi is sellable. Peter Obi can put a strong match. But the issue is that the system in place can manipulate that victory. He has nobody that can protect his final vote. There's nobody there. And from his political nature, you will see that all his movements are anchored on his own boss. He has no godfather.
No, but Atiku couldn't also protect his own votes now.
But Atiku, ask yourself, how did Atiku? Ask yourself, how did he pass the Peter Obi? And Tinubu was even able to win to pass it with only 1 million votes. If you see the gap between Tinubu and Atiku, that's 1 million votes. I'm telling you. And Peter Obi had 6 million votes. So if you have matched the Atiku and Atiku's vote to Peter Obi's vote as one basket, they would have beaten Tinubu to dust. That is the issue.
But the bigger issue now is how do you even convince a Peter Obi to be vice to Atiku?
He can easily be convinced.
How?
It's easier to convince Peter Obi than to convince Atiku to step down.
Why do you think so?
Peter Obi does not do or die affair. He's not too much desperate that this ticket must come to me. He's coming out as that maybe that people want him, that he wants to make a change, but he wants to put a system. But he's not much in a hurry. I told you age is still on his side, but Atiku is desperate because time is no longer on his side. Time is no longer on his side. That's why he's desperate.
Wow.
And once he steps aside, then that is no more. He's finished. He will no longer arrest politically.
Well, it's really left to be seen because I really don't know. I don't know how it's going to be where you have a Peter Obi vicing and Atiku after all this momentum. One would have thought that Atiku would have supported Peter Obi in 2023. That didn't happen. He might not necessarily want to take.
But you have seen that from the demeanor of Atiku, he's not ready to support Peter Obi. Actually, from his demeanor,
it looks like
it. He's determined to still pursue that mandate. And he's already showing it.
No, but it's not a nice thing now. When I don't know if you have ever seen people who have been desperate. We've seen a Buhari who was desperate to become president. We've seen a Buhari who was desperate to become president for 4 times, and then he won, and then we saw the disaster that he made of governance.
What you said now is the correct things on ground. I will be sorry for Nigeria if Atiku emerges as president of Nigeria. I'll be sorry for Nigeria because this is a man that has spent his last card already. And having spent his last card, and age is no longer on his side also. Chance Nigeria will be bankrupt. And Nigeria will wind up. Because he's that time when he has the vision to rescue Nigeria, that time when he had the vision to put economic abundance in Nigeria, that time has already passed. Age is no longer on his side. So his mindset, if he was like not president now, his mindset will be how to recover
all money,
the years that the locals has eaten.
Yes,
that is his mindset. He will not have any zeal again or interest to build a new Nigeria again. That energy is no longer there. That zeal no longer there. Not like Buhari. Buhari was elected based on that he's a disciplined man. But people don't know that age is no longer on his side. That mindset, that is powerful way then. No longer there. No longer there. That desire to build a Nigeria no longer there. Same with Atiku. If he wins again, if he wins as Nigerian president, he will not have any viable vision or viable dream to execute in Nigeria. He will even start looking for those whom he will punish for what they have done to him. That's the issue. He will look for weekend to humble him down. So he goes to prison. Before you know it, 2 years will pass. When you're busy fighting for past government officials. So, but if Peter Obi emerges as president, you see, he still has the energy, he still has the zeal, he still has the vision, the dream to build the Nigeria of our dream. But the issue that the power that be has not yet agreed at the moment that they will rest and allow the Nigerian for our dream to emerge. They haven't agreed. Okay. But the time is coming when they will agree. The time is already very close when they will now agree. After this era, after this phase of 4 years or 8 years, they will now have youthful personalities that has the vision to build a Nigeria of our dream. That is our prayer.
Well, we hope we don't see a person like Kwankwaso, jump into the fray and say he must rule since all his predecessors have ruled.
Anyway, Kwankwaso is that Kwankwaso is somehow arrested. Is still youthful.
Kwankwaso is not youthful. Kwankwaso is old now.
But it's old. But I think he acts. He's art.
They should all go and rest. Nigeria is young, so you need a young person.
Anyway, that phase, they're already going. All right. They allow new people to come up and make their mark.
All right, let's talk about this latest development as it concerns Nnamdi Kanu. I heard the case has been adjourned to October. Tell us about it. This particular no-case submission, I understand that you even kicked against the no-case submission the last time we spoke. Can you give us a little more details regarding that?
Okay. At the last sitting of the Nnamdi Kanu trial on Friday, the parties, the council in the matter, they adopted their addresses on what is known as a no-case submission. A no-case submission means that the defendant are saying that having regard to the evidence already put on ground before the court, that the prosecutor have not made any official case, have not made any substantial case, or any case that will link Nnamdi Kanu to the charge against him. It's a reasonable felony. So that they have not established any case that can warrant him to put up a defense in that case. That is a no-case submission. And the court should dismiss the charge as it is, because those who brought him to court have not been able to prove by witnesses that he actually committed the offense, or that the offense he had to have committed was linked to him. That is what they have. They say he shouldn't be called upon to defend himself. That is a no submission. So that's why the parties have adopted their addresses before the court and the arguments before the court. And the court has now adjourned the matter for ruling to rule on whether the court will dismiss the charge against him, or whether the court will now compare or will now call upon Nnamdi Kanu to come and defend himself. And that is two things. It's either the court dismiss the whole case, the whole charge against Nnamdi Kanu, or the court will call upon Nnamdi Kanu to come and enter the witness box and defend himself one way or the other. That is a no-case submission. So, personally, from what I'm seeing, it is not, even though we may not make a statement regarding court proceedings, but what I'm seeing on ground, the likelihood of the court dismissing the charge is not there to me. Even when they establish that there's a rendition involved. Issue of rendition cannot stop the if the issue that Nnamdi Kanu has many charges against him. He has many count charges against him. So the only thing that can be done, that maybe in that ruling, there may be some 1 or 2 counts that the court will say that it should be dismissed, but not all the whole counts. So the judge may tactically dismiss some counts of charges against Nnamdi Kanu, but will uphold some counts so that he will still be around to defend the case against him. And meanwhile, don't forget that the Supreme Court had already made a pronouncement. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Don't forget that there was an appeal by federal government against Nnamdi Kanu to Supreme Court. And Supreme Court have already made a pronouncement that Nnamdi Kanu has a case to answer as regards reasonable felony. And that judgment of Supreme Court is binding on the lower court. It is the final bus stop. So insofar as the Supreme Court has already made a pronouncement on an aspect of the count against him, there's no way the Federal High Court can ask him to go home on that or on the count. Wherein the Supreme Court, which is the highest court of the land, has already pronounced on. It is very hard. It will be against judicial rascality for any Federal High Court to toe a different line from what the Supreme Court have already said there. So, but the only thing that the count may reduce, the judge may dismiss some counts, but not the entire counts. So the charge must still be pending, and then the kind must go on a full-fledged trial on the same charge. I have said it here. I said it once and for all that the only way this matter can end conclusively, that anybody being injured, is through negotiation. There's no way by the court system you have in Nigeria that they can totally exculpate Nnamdi Kanu from being tried in Nigeria.
Well, do you think that there is an underhand in this matter? Because there has been so many persons who have been speaking regarding this issue. There's a school of thought that said that the APC government may have begged him to support them in the forthcoming elections, and he has agreed to do that. There's another school of thought that has also said that the APC have begged them to drop his ambition to, for the secession of the southeast into Biafra, and he has also refused that. And that's part of the reasons why he's going into trial, that this would have been ended if he had accepted, in any of the matter, either support the APC in the forthcoming election using his platform to push the Igbos to support the APC, or to drop his ambition of seceding. Do you think in that direction? Do you feel that's what's happening?
Just, I will not be surprised that this underhand or this under political movements have been made to him. I'll be surprised. But one thing that you should know is that from the natural nature of Nnamdi Kanu, that he's somehow a respect. He's a human being that has a stubborn nature in his nature. He doesn't agree easily. Once he takes a stand, it's difficult for him to change that stand. He doesn't want to see himself as a betrayer. That is why this issue of negotiation is somehow difficult for people to come and assist him to negotiate. He doesn't want to make a double step, a double voice in his actions. So that is why the peace talk or negotiation at the mediation that is ongoing had not yielded any meaningful result. Because I'm aware that the APC can do everything possible to garner him to their own state of affairs, so they can achieve a meaningful result in the forthcoming election. So, but I'm seeing that that's not from what you said. What you said is correct. They have not been able to reach any agreement based on the nature of Nnamdi Kanu. Not the nature. Man, the matter is already continuing. But we still keep hope alive that there will still be a meeting point in which they can agree. Because as things are now, there's no way Nnamdi Kanu can be fully exculpated from the discharge.
No
it's
way.
Very difficult.
Are you saying that the government cannot dissolve all the matter, or the court cannot dissolve all the matter brought against him?
That's why I said from the nature of the count of the charge against him, it will not if the case is allowed to go on through the court process, and there's the likelihood of discharging him entirely from the count. Finding him guilty is likely not there. It's likely is high percentage likely effect of not being there.
Wow.
That's the truth. And even though that the punishment may not be as earlier intended, it can be given imprisonment for some years. But exculpating him exclusively or completely on the count pending before the Federal High Court, to me, even though I am not a judge or a legal prophet, but it's not there.
But what do you think are the roles of Igbo leaders in the continuing detention of Nnamdi Kanu? Because I just feel that the Igbo leaders are just quiet about this whole matter. There hasn't been any real concerted effort coming together of Igbo, right from the Ohaneze to the Igbo governors, to pressure the government to release Nnamdi Kanu for crying out loud.
That is where we are failing. Ohaneze and Igbo is failing. That is where the Igbo people are failing. It is in our local parlance they will say Igbos have no king. That is the local parlance. Even when I was growing up, that is the message they passed to us. Even though we have a king, but we don't. That's the problem. Charles Obi was in a position to have done that. But look at what's happening. You see how he's having issues with Soludo. How they say Soludo is disgusting. You see? So is that's the thing. Yeah, that's what umbrella. That's no umbrella. Had it been that Obi on the chat was given sufficient backing. But he has, but his name, that his name has limited his powers. He said they call him Obi of Onitsha. You can never say he is not Obi of Igbo land. Obi of Enugu.
No, but he's well respected. He's well respected across Igbo land.
But he is not respected as he ought to have been respected. That's the issue. Because they see him as Obi of Onitsha. So had they been, the Igbos must create a platform in which they should have either Igbo of Southeast or Igbo, whatever name they will call it. That everybody will be under. You see, in Yoruba they have Oba. They have in outside they say it's Emir or Sultan who can pronounce something and everybody will comply with. You see?
Yeah, but that is
so that's the thing we have. So what we should do is that, and even the data rulers we have in Nigeria, in Igbo land, they should they have leaders of rulers in Southeast. They have Igbo of Southeast. They can even use that umbrella to call a meeting of they should call a meeting of Focus on them. They should call a meeting of all the static governors in which they will address them. And in that meeting, they will fix a date, they will see the president. Just there is no way Tinubu, they will ask for Tinubu's appointment to see the president as a guardian and the Kanu, in which they would demand that they should see them. Tinubu will gladly welcome them. And if they demand that he should be released to them, collectively, just there's no way Tinubu will say no.
That's true.
Taking the kingdom condition. Look at what he will do for me. And they will say they will do it. It's simple. But what you'll be hearing is that Soludo will say to Nnamdi Kanu. Some people say Dave Mike said that there is hope that he will be released. Who will now be saying his own. You see? So they don't have a collective voice. And it's very simple. And don't be surprised. It is them. It is even them that made some pronouncement that led towards that issue of arrest many years ago. So it is them. They are meeting in Enugu that can make a move to untie what has been tied.
No, but it's not the same. It's not the same government now. It's not the same government. There are two different governments now.
The same government is continuity. It's a continue.
Right. And anyway, I mean,
it's a continue.
It's becoming really, really terrible by the day. I mean, the person who even jailed him, internationally rendered him, has died and has been buried. You know, you can't really say now that in the eye of the government, you can say that Nnamdi Kanu did this and pointed towards that. You know, it just really add up. And so many persons have also said that one of the reasons why Nnamdi Kanu is still under detention is because he's an Igbo man. If he was an Hausa man or even somebody from the southwest, he would have been released. Do you share that school of thought?
That is why I said that we don't have leaders. We don't have. Just you see what happened to Igbo.
Yeah.
Igbo was arrested in Benin Republic. Who is Igbo? But the moment they hear that he was arrested by Buhari, they all had their whole leaders. Bloodied with one voice. With one voice. They said that he will not be repatriated in Nigeria. They hanged him there to ensure that he's fully mobilized and ensure that he gained his freedom before coming down to Nigeria. That is people that knows brotherhood. You see what happened to this man during good work chief of staff or I must suffer. You see how he was from nowhere he was released and his case died natural death. How about Dokumbo or Dokubo? How about this man from Rivers? The man that was now who was sought to be killed. Suddenly he was given a contract that can consume Nigerian Southeast states. And he was being paid for in dollars. A terrorist. Somebody who was seen as a terrorist was converted to be a trillionaire. Why? Because the people supported him. And the government changed their mind. It's because we don't support our people. Even if Nnamdi Kanu is maybe he's giving a wrong message. You don't kill him in the public. You can shut him down in private. So it is us that expose him that he's nothing. I think that our leaders didn't expose him that he's nothing. Nobody would have had the guts to have come to his village to kill everybody and why looking for him. So we don't know how to play politics. Don't know.
Wow.
We can use his strength. We can use his Nnamdi Kanu strength because his message is according on you have been marginalized. That is his message purely. And if Nigeria stop marginalizing Southeast, who will benefit from it? Some leaders. If you talk message that has made Peter Obi have gotten a wave of Southeast should be allowed to rule. It's his message. That is the message he delivered. That we have been neglected by other regions of the country. We should be allowed to rule Nigeria. That's what gave that sympathy to Southeast in Peter Obi.
Yeah.
So we need to know how to beautify our own, not condemning and killing.
True.
Because if anybody said everybody cannot go no. If you kill your warrior in the village, if you kill your warrior in the village, then in the nationhood, who will fight for you in the nation? Nobody.
True.
Men who can talk are not under there. You see, Obasanjo was condemned, put in prison, and the same people these people said no. You come and contest election for Nigeria, and he won. But in our land, you can never see any woman that has been condemned, put in prison, and they will say give him ticket to go to Nigeria. It's impossible. They are the one that even say that you compete.
Okay.
That what we are doing, even condemn him first before even the enemy condemns him.
What
so
for
we
you?
need to change our mindset.
What for you? What for you would you say would be the main issue? Like, what are we expecting to happen on October 10th? I understand October 10th is the day given by the courts for the ruling. What can we expect?
What we should expect is very simple. We should expect, to me, we should expect a two-case scenario. The scenario one is for the trial court to give a ruling saying that Nnamdi Kanu has the case to answer, but he should put up a defense to the count, to the charges against him. That is the one case scenario. The second case that you're likely to see is that some counts in the charge was not established by the prosecutor, by the federal government. Okay. But the remaining count, which was established by the evidence of the federal government, Nnamdi Kanu should to put up a defense in his trial. That is the case you will see. The ruling of court, you will see it on that day. But you will not see any ruling of court that will say that he has been discharged.
You are so pessimistic about this particular issue. You don't seem to see any reason why the court will discharge him.
I have not seen any ground that will make the court to dismantle the whole charge against him. I have not seen any ground to say that the court will discharge him entirely on that day.
I mean, the 3 months given, this is July, we have August, we have September, then October. One would have thought that it might be a period where people will go and do backdoor negotiations, appealing. If it means to be, if Nnamdi Kanu needs to be appealed to, let him sheet his sword to, and also let them come to a certain consensus. And also, remember, 2026 is around the corner. It could be like a bite. The president may also be looking at the situation where he could release him just before the 2027 general election, so that the pendulum will swing towards him as somebody who released Nnamdi Kanu.
In fact, that adjourned date, the adjournment already made for 10th. It is an opportunity for an in-house discussion. It's an opportunity for deliberations, and I am even also merciful. I'm even having mercy for the judge that will give the ruling. It will not be easy for him.
Actually.
It won't be easy for him. So while the judges are doing their own, the other people, the other state people will also be doing their own. So, but it's for but from the demand of the judge is willing to do what the law is saying, to say the law as it is, and also to give out the law as it ought to be, which is as it is. So I have no doubt in my mind that the judge will deliver judgment, deliver his ruling in accordance with what the law is, because being a judge that has been given this mandate to look into the case, he must have been he's an experienced judge.
Mm-hmm.
That is why he was made to handle that matter. An experienced judge, so not the first time that he's handling in like cases against people. So he knows what to do at the right time, and he must only do what the law is, and what anybody in the eyes of the law will say that the judge has come to justice on the matter. So we seek call upon all relevant agencies, all relevant stakeholders in Igbo land to continue to make a move on how to resolve this matter. And then make them organize themselves into one voice and make a move. I don't know why they have not been able to make a move to put a date and also put up a mission that this proposal we must see the president. And give it to them entirely. I don't know why they have not been able to do so. So the moment they are going on a sole movement, it's a kind of a laughable act by the federal government.
Do you think?
But what's the
Go ahead. Just finish off.
So what's the put their house in order? Not organize, just making statements. Please let's Nnamdi Kanu. No. You don't use mere word or mere public press release to call for his release. In fact, he tried this. He tried this. The level we are now is not the level of making statements or passing remarks. No, there will be tangible and cognizable movement. So the president, here you will now collectively open your mouth and say, look at our demand. Look at our demand. And that people are willing to comply with whatever the condition you will give. It's very simple like that. But we have not mustered that energy and that way, or even agreed to do that based on personal interest. It's unfortunate.
But for you, I mean, do you think it's deliberate? Our leaders not going to Tinubu to ask for this man's release directly, collectively. Do you think it's deliberate? Some of them don't even want Nnamdi Kanu to come out of prison.
Hey, the power that be, it knows that it is a deliberate act. It's deliberate. You have not been convinced that he should be released. That's the issue. Our leaders have not yet been convinced that he should be released. And once your leader has not been convinced that he should be released, just who then will be convinced to Tinubu, to go to Tinubu to tempt him to release Nnamdi Kanu?
They've all been speaking that they've all been saying that he should be released.
They have not been convinced that he should be released. Like those who should go to Tinubu to make a plea on his behalf have not been convinced that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. They want to still remain there. So they can still remain relevant to their people or to their state. That's the issue. So it's only when they have been convinced that they should release him that they can now muster the courage to collaborate with others to tell the president on his face that he should give it to them. So that's why they are still silent on the matter.
I wonder how convincing.
Have you had our governor, the Enugu State, Excellency, mentioned about Nnamdi Kanu?
Not once.
Or the governor of a eh?
He's never mentioned he has never mentioned him just once.
Eh? You say?
He has not mentioned him just once. He hasn't mentioned it at all.
And family. So and even if you mention him, it will not be to the tune of like it should be released. It will not be.
Oh, you think so?
Even the one you had him mentioned, he has not been said that it should be released. He has not been convinced. He must have been. He is not the first followers, but convince him that it should be released for him to be convinced. Because he himself wants safety. He wants peace in Enugu state. Yeah. So he doesn't want any clash. He wants a nice environment. Likewise in Ebonyi. I've not heard the governor of Ebonyi mention Nnamdi Kanu's release. So, let alone in Imo State. So they have not been convinced. It's only when they are convinced, and before they can be convinced, there must be a meeting where they will discuss and escalate the issue of that Nnamdi Kanu and security effect on the southeast. They must convert a meeting. So they debate on it and act on it. So they have not yet been convinced. So it's about those who should go to Tinubu have not been convinced. Other things are just passers by. In law, we call it Obi tradition, a passing statement that has no effect.
All right. I mean, this is a very interesting point of view that you have put out. We really appreciate your insights as always. Thank you so much, Mr. Alex Amujogu, for spending your 1 hour, I think more than an hour now, speaking to us on these basic topics, which are quite germane. We will keep an eye on it. We are just seeing some update right now that ADC's constitution does not allow Peter Obi to contest the 2027 general elections under the platform of the ADC. And that is a breaking update right now. It shows that Peter Obi will not be able to participate in the forthcoming primary elections under the platform of the ADC because he belongs to two parties as it stands. He says he is a member of the coalition which is looking for 2027. He's also looking at this particular, he's also saying that he's in the Labour Party, but the party's constitution is saying clearly that the so-called constitution does not allow anybody who is not a full member of the party to run for that particular election. So many persons are now saying that it's Atiku that is pressing this button. Amechi is also pressing this button so as to force him out of the Labour Party. It is only when he is forced out of the Labour Party that they can be sure that he is with them. But as it stands right now, he still says that with the Labour Party. He's also with the PDP. I mean, with the Labour Party. He's also with the ADC. The ADC, the coalition is for 2027. So it's neither here nor there. It's still also a confusing state of things. So one would wonder really, where is he going to run on that platform? Tanko, who is his aide, has spoken about it. He said they were going to speak about it. They're going to bring it up in their subsequent meeting. So it's not particularly clear the direction of the Labour Party candidate in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, as to whether he would run on the ADC platform, because it's now a major task for him to either leave the party. The party says it has cleared Amechi, it has cleared Atiku to run for the 2027 election, but Peter Obi has to resign from the Labour Party and says he's no longer part of the Labour Party before he can be cleared to run, in that particular primary. But so many persons have said this is a ploy to box Peter Obi so that he will have no reason to go back anywhere, so that he will remain in the party. If at the end of the day, an article emerge, which so many persons have started saying that he must have even bought the ticket even before this whole coalition started, that at the end of the day, he will not be able to emerge as presidential candidate. He will just be, at the very best, a vice to Atiku. So there are so many speculations out there. Nobody knows what specifically is the issue. But this is some of the updates that we're getting. If there's any other thing that we will get, we will put it across to you. Remember, you can go ahead and drop a comments for us on this platform. you can call or send us a message via WhatsApp using the number showing on your screen. It's scrolling on your screen. And in due course, we would have you also call in live to contribute on the show and tell us exactly what you think about the topic of the day. Want to appreciate every one of you being part of the broadcast. We're back shortly for any other breaking stories that we think that might be important and might be interesting to you.